So the Cyberpunk devs confirmed that they're working on an expansion for the game. I have some thoughts about that. Hey everybody, I'm Johnny and I like to talk about games. Today we're talking about the confirmed new expansion for Cyberpunk that the devs talked about in social media. And as you guys know, I actually played Cyberpunk twice. So you're talking to someone, or you're hearing someone talk, that actually enjoyed the game for what it was. However, and this is a big but, the foundation as a game for an RPG is very lacking. So all of the RPG elements that you would go to as pillars of an RPG game, leveling system, stats, perks, how interesting they are or how much gameplay they actually modify versus just being plus 5% damage to something. All of that was really lacking. Interaction with the world was very poor. Not only could you not see your reflection in all of the countless reflective surfaces in the world, so you have RTX and everything is shiny, but you can't see yourself in the world. For all intents and purposes, you are the most invisible element in the world. You have very little interaction with it. It's actually astounding if you look at it, how little interaction you have and how much it feels like you're not a part of the world. Is it really gonna be fixed by adding more stuff on top? And this is where I feel strongly about this, and I don't think it can be fixed. Because when you build on a faulty foundation, to use a faulty metaphor, your whole building is gonna eventually collapse, or it's not really gonna hold up to scrutiny at any level. So for me, this kind of brings me back to No Man's Sky, which is actually an example of a redemption arc. They had a terrible release, they had stuff they promised that wasn't there day one, and they made up for it with endless content added over time, where now the game is actually awesome. You can jump in there, have a lot of fun, it's a great game. However, you can really tell that the foundations are very lacking in many respects. Shitty menus and UI, right? The UI continually reminding me of, oh, my oxygen is 20-30% low. Yes, we get it, right? And many buggy interactions with building. So all of this stuff that was tacked on as post-content patches, they just feel like extra shit on top of the actual game, which is nice in the sense that they add a lot. And like I said, it makes for a great game overall, but you can really tell that some of the base foundations and how the interactions work are very lacking. And they just can't work around how the game was implemented as the base game, right? So when you try to build underwater, which now you can, it's a buggy mess. Nothing works because guess what? It wasn't made to work day one. It was something that was kind of tacked on later, and those systems don't mesh well together. They don't always play nice. So lots of problems there. Now to take it back to Cyberpunk, will an expansion really shore up any of the foundations? No, it won't. And we know it won't. And that's my biggest problem. I was able to play Cyberpunk day one with not many technical issues. I had a powerful PC system and it played the game fine. I did have bugs, but they didn't break my experience. My big issues with the game, and I did have several like I discussed, are foundational issues with the game as an RPG. And that as a framework for adding more content doesn't work for me, right? Unless you're saying that magically they're gonna go in and fix some of those foundation problems, I just don't see how you can turn around some of those things that really detracted from my immersion and my enjoyment in an RPG game. So more content tacked on doesn't really attract me at all. But I want to hear from you. Is this something that excites you? And if so, what would you like to see in an expansion? Do you want to see more of the same characters, an extension of their narrative arcs? Or would you rather see a side story, something that goes in more towards the world building, which was actually one of the strengths in the game for me? And if you're not excited at all, tell me, what would you rather have them do? Because let's be honest, it's a cost of opportunity. If they're doing that, they're not doing other shit that maybe you would rather see, like more resources into the new Witcher game that they talked about, or a completely new IP that maybe they're excited about. Let me know down in the comments. And if you want more conversations like these, we're live on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Feel free to jump in and ask me any questions. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. And hit the like button, you fucks.